What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal SpazPhoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with 10 reasons why I absolutely think Rey Mysterio versus The Miz at SummerSlam is a bad idea. Now, because I didn't want this to sound like a bashing on Rey Mysterio video, which it's not, and talking to Alex, and I'm like, how do I explain this to people? And he said basically what I'm going to do. Here, I'm going to talk what I think about Rey Mysterio for a minute or two, and then I'm going to get into this list. Rey Mysterio is a very, very important sort of cog in the wheel in the WWE for what he does. He pleases a lot of people. He's got that cartoon element to him. He pleases the kids. He's, one of those high spots, ooh, ah, kind of guys, and, sort of along the same lines as the X Division would be in TNA. I almost said WCW, which would have been a great botch. Along the lines of, people like me who like the Hardy Boys. He feeds that kind of demographic. He gets the WWE Mexican audience and a Mexican following. There are a specific, contingent of the WWE universe that are specifically into luchador and masked wrestlers. So he does a lot for the WWE, and his matches are good. His matches are quite good. The whole, people thinking that he's lost a step and whatever. Has he, hasn't he, that's really not for me to say. People are saying he looks a bit out of shape since he's been back, and it's like, well, he's been gone for a year. So, give him a couple months to shake off the rust and see where we go from there. And, he's wearing a shirt now because of WWE following the Tommy Dreamer rule. But moving on. That was a joke. Before anybody gets mad at me, that was a joke. But despite all that, I have a shit ton of respect for Rey Mysterio, but this is 10 reasons why Rey Mysterio versus The Miz at SummerSlam shouldn't happen. Reason number one, and this is where everybody's going to jump on my case right from Jump Street. This is a predictable match, isn't it? A lot of people like to talk about the Breakfast Club, Triple H and Sheamus and all that. I would like to talk about the Super Family for a second, which I haven't gotten to do for a long time. In a much more negative way, I used to talk about the Super Family a lot, John Cena, Kelly being Mrs. Cena, and their son, Rey Mysterio, which I admit is disrespectful on my part, but it's really, really true, because these really are the three people, especially at a Big Four pay-per-view, that WWE loves to shove, good-feeling victories down our throats with characters like these on the bigger stages. So is there really, really any doubt at all that Rey Mysterio is winning this match? Put your comments down in the box below if you think that my boy The Miz, I should say, botching all over the place. I can speak, I swear. Gonna get the t-shirt made as soon as I have time. But is there any chance at all that The Miz is winning this match? I don't think there is. And I'm a huge fan of The Miz, and I see all the strides that he's making. I don't think the WWE sees them. Just putting that out there. Okay, get one of the more negative ones out of the way. Number two is the reasons that they were both absent. The reasons that they were both absent from the WWE. The Miz got buried by putting over a whole shit ton of new people for the WWE, building the future, etc., 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 even though it was Brodus Clay and Santino and a bunch of bullshit. Rey was off not doing things for the WWE, partially because of injury, which deserves all of our sympathy. The other part of that is because he failed the wellness policy. And I'm not bashing on him, I'm not calling him a druggie, whatever. Bottom line, whatever he did, whatever he took, whatever he ingested or used or medicated himself with, violated the policy, which by WWE standards is a crime. And you would figure he wouldn't come back and be handed a title shot right away. Just saying. So as far as deserving and all that sort of thing, I gotta say that Miz is up here and Rey's down here a little bit. That's just how I see it. Since he's come back, what has he done? And this is not Rey Mysterio's fault. Let me be clear about that. It's the way WWE has used him. They brought him back before they really had something for him to do. But, I mean, other than a couple of tag matches with Sin Cara, which, that was predictable enough in and of itself, and a couple of sneak attacks on Alberto Del Rio that didn't go anywhere, Rey really hasn't done anything. He hasn't built himself any momentum, any steam that would make you think, okay, his next step is a title shot. Number 4, and this sort of ties into number 3, but number 4 is, how did he become the number 1 contender? Now, people say that he had a match with The Miz on SmackDown and beat him, which doesn't surprise me because WWE likes to bury The Miz. But if that was the case, I would have loved it if they had pumped that match up as, oh man, if he beats the champion, he gets a title at the pay-per-view. Like, if they, all they have to do is say that once or twice, or say that in the opening announcements of the match, and it gets people more invested not only in that match, but in SummerSlam as well. There's no build there. And if that's not the case, there was no, you know, couple of guys in a number one contenders match, there was no, you know, battle royal for the Intercontinental Championship shot. There was no, you know, beat the clock, which is what they usually do. For the record, I love the beat the clock concept, and beat the clock should not just be for the two major titles. If you had a beat the clock, a bunch of guys in a beat the clock challenge night for the Intercontinental Championship, wouldn't that put more build on the Intercontinental Championship? I'm just saying. Miz needs, sorry, number 5. Miz needs the build that the Intercontinental Championship is giving him. He's been away doing stuff for WWE. He's been the WWE champion, and as much as that should be awesome, it was really, really buried by the WWE, by Cena and The Rock and their story and whatever. And before he left, before he did his movie thing, he was jobbing, like I said, to a lot of guys. So there's almost that element of WWE owes him something. I don't know if it's to say that, okay, wow, he deserves to be Intercontinental Championship for the next 6 months or whatever, but WWE deserves, or sorry, The Miz deserves WWE to let him look proper dominant at some point, and he never has, guys. Like, he had that string where he was taking out his old tag team partners like Alex Riley and Morrison and R-Truth, but those aren't big guys. I'm sorry to John, who's a big John Morrison fan, but those aren't, you know, the main heads, the big guys in the company. I would love to see him, even if it was in one specific little tiny moment. I'd love to see Miz for absolutely no reason other than the fact that he's pissed off at being in the mid-card. Bring a chair to the ring, take out John Cena one night. It's not going to happen, but okay, fuck off, I'm doing a video. Miz needs the belt. That's the bottom line of that. Ray, on the other hand, doesn't. The crowd loves him. He doesn't need a title to do what he's done. He's been a prominently featured world champion. And anybody who's a ridiculous fan of Rey Mysterio, there's always the chance that they could get jaded and believe that the Intercontinental Championship is a step down. Even though I don't agree, that chance is there. Now, because Ray doesn't need the Intercontinental Championship, I have a hard time believing that he wants it. And part of watching a title match, at least for me, is believing how much the contender wants or needs that championship, and that element just isn't here. I don't know why these guys got thrown together, because these guys both have other stories going on that they could pursue. Ray has been tag teaming with Sin Cara. That could go somewhere. Ray, much to the point of that people like Preston have been making, has an unfinished story with Alberto Del Rio. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to sit here and chomp at the bit because that hasn't happened yet, but it should happen eventually. Miz, on the other hand, could always continue his feud over the Intercontinental Championship with Christian, seeing as he's the one that he won it off of. Miz really needs to get a receipt on people like Santino and Clay and the little friggin' annoying jobbers that have buried him. And I would like to see Miz, especially after what happened on Piper's Pit this week, have a run or a few matches with Chris Jericho, but we all know that's not going to happen. Number 8. There was no build for this match. The match was randomly announced. Ray wasn't even there. Ray has never mentioned the Intercontinental Championship since he's been back, but this week on Raw, when the match was announced, Ray was nowhere in the vicinity, and it was announced during a Miz vs. Dolph vs. Jericho match. So this match totally came out of fucking left field, and fuck off, I'm doing a video. Nobody cares. Or not, I shouldn't say nobody cares, because I don't doubt that the match will be good. Let me sidebar and say that. But we don't, storyline-wise, build-wise, and as Alex will tell you, it's all about the build, but there's no reason to care. It'll be a good match. It's a lot like Triple H and Brock Lesnar coming up this Sunday. I have no doubt that the match will be good. They just haven't booked me a reason to care. Just saying that. Number 9, we need heel champions. We went through a long, long stretch where every championship was held by a goody two-shoes baby face. Oh, yes, we did. Punk, I'm not willing to call a full heel yet. Punk is, you know, a hardcore tweener. at the moment. But let's look at it. Friggin' Santino has the U.S. Championship. Arboom has the Tag Team Championship. Sheamus has the World Heavyweight Championship. We need more heels. Heels being champions is a lot more entertaining than faces being champions. Oh, yes it is. And put it on Ray, and it's going to become cartoony superhero, this is my medallion type thing, and I don't want that to happen to the Intercontinental Championship. And number 10, if this happens, it's going to continue the hot potato game that we're playing with the Intercontinental Championship belt itself, and it puts us now 4 champions away, or 5 if you want to include the Big Show, from the last time somebody had a decent, meaningful reign in Cody Rhodes. You know, since Cody Rhodes, we've had Big Show, we've had Christian, we've had The Miz, and now we'll have Ray. So if the last long-term meaningful reign was now 4 champions ago, that hurts the Intercontinental Championship. Anyways, guys, that's my 10 points. I really hope this didn't come off as me just sort of taking a shit on Rey Mysterio, but I'm definitely shitting on this match. This is why. Please, I'm inviting everybody, because I know a lot of hardcore Rey Mysterio fans that may disagree with me. Make me a response, you know, put me in some comments down below, put a video response below. Good or bad, I will be accepting all video responses. So go ahead, do it, give me your 2 cents, give me a piece of your mind, whatever you want to call it. But until then, I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep this conversation going. Don't be a stranger, I will talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I am tagging out. Bye, guys.